You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast hosted by Johnny and Ralph. Now let's get it.
What's happening, YouTube? I'm Ralph,
This is Johnny.
and we're Oversaturated Podcast. Appreciate you guys for stopping by the channel. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment. You know, all that great stuff.
All
But
of
we're
it.
here to discuss She-Hulk Episode 5, Mean Green, and Johnny just corrected me, straight poured into these jeans. We are here to review yet another episode of Marvel She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Johnny, before we get into the nuts and bolts of this episode, Johnny, what did you think about the episode overall?
All right. I've gotten accustomed to trying to watch these videos, watching these episodes twice so I can give like a concise review.
Yep.
The first time I watched it, it was just okay. Like, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. So I was just like, all right, cool. Then I had a conversation with a homie. Shout out to my guy Terrence. I had a conversation with him on through Instagram, and we was just going back and forth on She-Hulk and the Marvel Disney shows, and basically him explaining to me that we can't expect these shows to be movie productions. Like, we can't expect them to be plot driven as the movies are. Can't expect them to have as much action as they are. These are these are TV shows. These are TV shows, so we can't really expect them to be like that. And for She-Hulk specifically, this is a show about a woman finding herself in her adulthood. She just so happened to be a Hulk now. And when after we had that conversation, I watched this episode again, and this particular episode, and kind of the series as a whole, makes a little bit more sense to me. Not that it didn't before, but I'm understanding Jennifer Walters as a character more. I know that was a long-winded explanation. My bad. Sorry. But the second time I watched the episode, it was a little bit better to me. So yeah, sorry, I went around the globe, but I'm back.
It's fine.
I'm back.
It's fine.
What did you think, Ralph?
Yeah, we starting to tread to that territory I've been telling y'all we was gonna get to.
Snap.
Mm-hmm. And all that sounds good, but the thing is, you know why I can't really rock with that rationale?
What's up?
We had Jessica Jones and we had Daredevil. Those are top tier franchise. Things that happened over in Netflix. They had better writing. They had great production. They had Jessica Jones is your best, the one you like. I'm just saying, like I can't rock with.
It's because of the villain. It was because of the villain.
You love the villain, right?
No, I'm saying no. Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Oh, okay.
I'm agreeing.
I can't. Yeah, Daredevil. We got 3 seasons of fire.
2.5.
2.5.
2.5.
All right. Well, still.
Second half of season 2 was but that's neither here nor there.
My point is that. But this that sound cool, but yeah.
Snap.
Let's just get to it, man. I don't want to get into too offbeat with this one.
Yeah.
Right?
So we
start off with the Titania stuff, right? Even the opening credits changed.
Right. Yep. And we start with the ad of the products that Titania is selling, the beauty products. She-Hulk by Titania.
Yeah.
That shit look legit. Like a real advertisement. I thought that was kind of dope.
It's almost like Kylie Jenner, man. That's what Titania reminds me of.
Actually, I don't think I'm mad at that. That's a very interesting comparison. So we start the episode with those ads for those beauty products from Titania, right?
Yeah.
And we see Jennifer Walters driving in her car. She sees a billboard. Well, she first sees it in her apartment as she's getting ready for work. Yeah. She sees it on a billboard as she's driving to work, and then she's listening to a law podcast, and Titania is a sponsor of the podcast. So she's seeing this She-Hulk Titania stuff everywhere, which is insane. So we already start off this episode with Jennifer Walters pretty much demoralized because this woman is using her name and her likeness to sell these products.
Yeah. I think one thing we get throughout this episode is a common theme of Jennifer Walters being broke down.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
100%. Like it's going to be very evident. I don't want to jump around too much before we get to the scene by scene play, but you just see her like kind of going through this thing. That's what makes this episode feel like such a filler episode to me personally. But it does develop the character of Jennifer Walters, and the cheap laughs are there, so I appreciate it. But still,
that's funny. then Titania is having a pop up for these beauty products,
That's
right?
crazy.
This is nut. Like you got to respect the marketing though, and the campaigning, because it's dope, right? But Jennifer Walters shows up. What is her paralegal's name? I can never remember
to her
it.
paralegal.
Man, what? Because
Nikki? Yes. Wasn't lurking. I was close by.
she
is
definitely
such
be
a
advocating.
a dope character, man. And she was like, "No, you got to act like you know somebody. Like
Right.
just walk in,
It's
like
just-
have confidence."
We're not gonna wait in line. Are you kidding me? We're just gonna enter with confidence. That's how it works. Excuse us.
But it's so funny. Jennifer is the lawyer and the superhero, right? She lacks all the confidence.
And that's what I imagine this whole series is really about.
Yeah.
It's not really about She-Hulk. It's about Jennifer Walters coming into her own as a woman and becoming more confident. It just so happened that she had to become a Hulk in order for that to happen.
Yeah.
Because if it didn't, then she'd just be still at the DA's office
Pretty much.
winning cases. Even though she was winning cases, she still just would have been out here,
I agree.
which is crazy.
I agree. And then, the exchange between her and Titania is always like kind of like comedic gold. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, because Titania is such an airhead. Like,
It's
you know what I
true.
mean? Like,
It's true. It's true, man. I don't know. The fact that she called Jennifer Walters a child was crazy to me.
I'm so sorry, little child, but the line starts way back there.
Like just off the bat. First of all, she didn't even know that. Well, she didn't know that was Jennifer Walters. Then didn't realize that was actually She-Hulk until Jennifer Walters. Until she said, "Hey, you're using my name," and then she really just proceeded to shoo her away. Like,
Pretty much.
fam, I got a trademark. You can go now. And then end up taking a picture of her with a fan. Like,
You're taking the photo?
Just one, and that is it.
she got to do better. I don't know. It's crazy. But then the next scene, we get our guy, man. He goes, the other attorney in the office at GLK&H. He was in Arrow. Damn, I can't think of his name. I always be blanking on these characters' names. But basically, he asks Jennifer's friend. He says, "Look, I need you to do something for me. I need you to come with me to get these Iron Man 3s," which they actually been advertising this whole series so far. Like it's been in different episodes, which I thought was dope, right?
yeah.
The
The swag broker.
the swag
That's nasty.
the swag broker.
Trip broke.
Which do you think that's a callback to the Power Broker from what's the name?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
the
that's
swag broker.
Yeah,
Trip broke.
that's pretty cool. But anyway, she says, "Look, I'm gonna do that for you, but I need you to do something for me. Do you know somebody that can make clothes for the She-Hulk? Because clearly, listen, she wearing I don't even know
Them big ass suits.
man. She shopping big and tall. That's crazy.
I can give you some pointers.
Look, I'm sorry, that's just funny. But anyway, we just gonna skip ahead. They actually show up to this boba shop, right?
Yeah.
They do all the little password
That's
shit.
extreme. That's extremely like gentrification. Like that is nasty. Like a boba shop. Like that's wild.
You ever had boba?
Yeah, I have.
Shit,
That's I know. That's what I'm saying. That's some high end T shit.
Man, what? Hell overrated. But anyway,
Yeah.
look. Anyway, they do all the password things they need to do. Old boy takes them back and he's selling a Avengers shirt.
This says Avengers.
You don't like Avengers? I got Avengers.
Oh, with an I.
He's selling bootleg Avenger stuff. Like, and dude having the time of his life. He got the Thor. He got Mjolnir. He got a
It was
shield.
great.
He was
It was great.
he was doing this.
It was so great. Oh my god, that was great. But anyway, I'm sorry. I really enjoyed that because just
like
seeing
I
him
said,
playing around with this stuff was
the
great.
laughs are there. The cheap laughs are there. Like you're gonna get like little stuff like that.
Right.
And then when he's like, "All right, you guys are good," and then they take this secret elevator down to the front of the swag broker's like store or shop.
Trip broke.
Yep.
And then you get the buzzer thing.
As soon as he's about to press it the first time,
No.
leave, go away. But they ultimately convince him to make Jennifer Walters, or they convince him to have a consultation.
They finessed him because he told him you're gonna be supplying the Avenger with a costume.
He was like, "All right, 15 minutes. My assistant will get in touch with you." So they actually go. She-Hulk shows up, and immediately he's like, "Oh no, I can't do this. I'm above this. I'm above this."
This one. Oh my God! Is the Hag convention in town?
I love that.
I
character.
forgot the name of the character, but for him to be like the tailor to the superheroes is
Yes.
kind of like a dope thing. But it kind of eliminates what, kind of jumping ahead, but not jumping ahead. Remember the character for Daredevil that made his suits?
Yes, I do.
That kind of eliminates that because he, Daredevil went to get his suits made by some guy.
Right now, do you think that could eliminate it completely because they are in what they're in California, right? They're not in New York.
They're not in New York.
So this could just be his West Coast suit. And maybe he got something for when he's back in New York. I don't know. I'm making this up, but I don't know.
And they're pretty much eliminating any of the MCU. Well, not the MCU, but we branded them the Marvel Netflix universe. They're getting rid of that, and they're not retconning it into what we already know about the MCU. Even though we know who Daredevil is, but like even Daredevil Born Again is supposed to be a brand new Daredevil story.
It's a season 1, not a season 4. Is what
Exactly.
they've been saying. So yeah.
But getting back to like the swag broker
Trent broke.
and all that, like it was kind of dope to see, like, because those high end fashion guys are.
Yep.
Never heard of you. My client list is very exclusive because my work is impeccable.
So it's pretty much on brand.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, right? So he ultimately agrees to make the suit, right? So we do that. She-Hulk goes back to work. She's back in the office. She's meeting with her boss now. We have a problem, Jennifer. Why is it
I like him.
that I see these advertisings for booty lotion? What did he say? Whatever the joint was. I said booty lotion. That's funny.
That's wild.
Pause.
No, not
Okay.
I mean,
Anyway, look, why am I seeing these types of advertisements? She was like, look, it's not me. This lady, she trademarked my name. I didn't think I needed to do it. I think it makes sense because do we know if any other superhero coined their name, trademarked their name? Do you think the Falcon trademarked his name?
I don't think so, but we talked about in I think it was the previous episode where Doctor Strange and somebody else,
Thor.
Thor, but he was like,
Chose 2 examples of people who use their real names.
Those examples of real names.
Those are real names, though.
Why would they trademark it? So yeah, but anyway, so She-Hulk says she's going to handle it, and he says, "No, you're not." So now we get the interactions between She-Hulk and our girl Mallory, and of course I'm gonna remember her name.
I'm mad at you for it.
Man, listen to me.
Mallory's on her ass, though. She was not letting up.
But if you're going to be my client, you need to dress like you respect yourself and not like a football player pleading no contest to a DUI.
She basically, how did you let somebody trademark her name? And she goes to do the same explanation, and they go and craft this whole defense in court. They get to court. I'm really about to skip ahead because the court scene, the first court scene was just alright. It was just alright. So we get to the second court scene where before Jennifer, she comes up with a strategy to win the case when she was having lunch with her paralegal, right?
Yeah, the paralegal was pretty much like the glue to Jennifer's like existence. Like,
oh no, it's true.
Like she really be helping Jennifer out a lot.
It's true, and I love it. I love their interactions because she really be getting Jennifer together. Like fam, like what are you really doing, right?
Yes.
And she's the one that set up the whole thing with the suits anyway. But we'll get back to that in a minute. Yeah. So basically, she comes up with this defense where she
uses her fake Tinder profile.
Yeah, basically,
well, not fake Tinder profile. It's fake Tinder to us.
It's the MCU
real,
version of Tinder.
Exactly.
Finder.
Someone's unmatched her.
So she basically says, I went on dates with all these people as She-Hulk. Those are my witnesses. They can corroborate the fact that I've been using this name before Titania trademarked it.
And that's like one of the most embarrassing. Like that embarrassed She-Hulk. Like her having to read her Finder bio.
As you can see in the About Me section, my client wrote, and I quote, "Mean green and straight poured into these jeans." Ew.
and then have the recollection of all these bad dates.
Yep.
On public record. And
then for each of them to actually come up and express how they felt about She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters, for that matter, especially the last guy, the guy that she actually connected with, right?
Yeah.
For him to say,
look, I don't mean to be rude, but no. She's not really my type. But She-Hulk, She-Hulk's incredible. She's amazing.
that has to, like, I just know for sure that is demoralizing to her as a human.
We talked about that last week. I was just like, the way that he looked at her and the way, like, I was like, that's gonna, like, quote unquote fuck her up.
Oh, 100%. She even said herself after they won, walking down the steps, like, besides the fact I'm going to need therapy, I'm happy we actually won. So that makes a lot of sense, man.
For her to put her public life on display like that, just to get the name back, hey, it is what it is, and you have to do what you have to do to win in the court of law. But it was an unprecedented tactic, you would say.
Oh yeah.
I mean, each one of those guys were pretty much spot on with what they presented in the previous episode. Like, my guy still being the meathead, he's like, oh, she wasn't that impressive, like,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was funny. And then, like, our weird guy,
he's back.
He's back. He's actually one of Mallory's clients.
Correct.
Which is, I didn't think we'll see him again in that capacity. So it kind of leans to what you were saying last week, I think. Like, we would see him again.
Some about him is off. I don't know what it is. He could be working for another because this is the superhero law division, right?
Yeah.
So he has to be working for somebody. I just wonder who it is.
We'll see. Well, I know Jennifer is the one over, or She-Hulk is the one over that. So I'm not sure where does he tie in being Mallory's client.
So it's a whole division. So Mallory is an attorney in the division.
Oh,
so
She-Hulk is just the face, or just
basically
the lead attorney. Okay,
yeah.
okay, I missed that.
She'll probably She-Hulk will probably, just like she did with Abomination, right? She'll represent the actual superheroes, and then I guess the villains are superheroes that have people for them, like the weird guy.
Yeah,
probably will go to the office and meet with all the other attorneys.
That's probably why Mallory had so much malice.
Yeah,
I see what you did there. Puns.
For her. I
right.
get it. Okay. It kind of makes sense.
Making sense.
A little bit.
So then, I'm just going to the end.
Okay.
We get to the last scene. Jennifer Walters, she says,
Oh yeah, my clothes.
She goes back to the swag broker.
Yeah.
Trim broke.
He says, I have this suit for you. Try this on. She goes in there. She said, "Oh, I like it." He says, "I know. I love his interactions, right?"
I love the energy, man.
And then he made her something else too, which is what I assume would be her actual superhero costume.
Yeah,
that's what I'm assuming. But then in this scene, we get a sneak peek at Daredevil's helmet. It's exciting. It's probably the most excitement the whole episode. But I'm happy to see it. It's interesting that it's yellow, but I'm happy to see it, and I hope this means that next episode we are introduced to Matt Murdock / Daredevil.
I think that's pretty much what I hope. Well, hold on.
I'm hoping that's it.
I hope, because you know what? We still don't know what the Wrecking Crew and who they working with. We don't know. We thought that was gonna pick up in episode 5? No, this is episode 5. We thought there was a pickup in episode 4.
Yep.
So we still kind of like in the dark on that. So the Daredevil helmet. This is pretty much his interest into the MCU officially as Daredevil, because it was Matt Murdock.
As Daredevil, yes. Matt Murdock that we've been introduced to already.
Gotcha.
In Spider-Man.
How did you just do that? I'm a really good lawyer.
So that's cool.
Look, Ralph ain't got nothing else for this.
That's cool.
It is what it is.
Man, look.
We only got 4 episodes.
She finna get her rocks off by beating Murdoch, Daredevil's ass. Like she ain't fault nobody else.
She might not be able to.
I
don't know. You don't know?
Nah. Daredevil.
You think he'll get helmet cracked?
Man, he ain't got enough ninja skills to fight She-Hulk. Hulk, man.
I don't know, man. You don't think the hand are part of this?
Nah.
Hand, feet, none of that?
Nah.
No? I don't know, man. Well, hopefully next episode 6, we have 4 episodes left. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 4 episodes left of this season.
Okay.
They got to do something, man. Listen, you got to see it through, my boy. You got to see it through.
We said this last week. It's trending down. Like it's going. It's like a graph, right? It's going like this.
It's like a bell curve skewed to the right. I just learned this in one of my certification
Talk about
classes, right? So from episode 1 to episode 3, we were like this.
2 for me.
Damn. Episode 1 to 3 were like this. 4 and 5, steep decline. We like this, steep decline. So we'll see if episode 6 through 9.
It's got to. We can't have no more filler now. Like, this is the thing, right?
The meat and potatoes.
But like, and this is where I differ from you and the homie Terrence, right? I think that they're focusing too much on everybody else. Like, the highlights of She-Hulk is everybody else. It's Hulk. It's the Hulk appearance. It's Daredevil. It's even Titania to an extent. It's who else? Wongers. Like it's everybody else except her, which is her. How can this be your show and your plot line or your storyline is the most boring and unentertaining? The highlights of the show is everybody else. They're using She-Hulk's show, and this is like where we talked about. It can be a nexus, right? I think they're using it to introduce so much other stuff. Like we talked about the Easter eggs about the mutants. We talked about Abomination. Oh, see, I forgot about Abomination. Like, look, it's so much stuff they want to put in Phase 5 moving forward that we're kind of diluting what this show could be. How can I ever be excited about her being an Avenger if we're not getting enough of her right now?
I want to counter that.
You can. I know you got a point. It's just I'm frustrated.
I'm trying. Man, I really want to counter that, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. Her story,
like she is supposed to be an Avenger. Like she's supposed to be part of the A-Team, right?
Right, but
remember that meme you sent me?
No, I remember.
Who are these niggas?
I mean, facts. This new lineup of Avengers about to get they ass handed to them. But anyway, I hear what you're saying about
just the show.
I hear what you're saying about her being, going to be an Avenger at some point, and all of that. I get it, but here right now, as the show She-Hulk Attorney at Law, that Attorney at Law piece is there for a reason, and she's a really good attorney. Like she's every case that we've seen her do, she's won so far.
I agree.
And
I agree.
The means at which she's won these cases, especially this one in episode 5, are like unprecedented type things. So she's really good at her job.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy that they're using this season to introduce her as a person. But I mean, what else can you really do for a TV literally a TV show?
No.
A TV like this is a TV show. Yes, she is a Hulk. Yes, she will be an Avenger. I get that, but this is Jennifer Walters coming into her own as a woman. Like whatever. Like as humans, I think we all go through a phase where something clicks and we just become who we are supposed to be. We get comfortable in our own skin. We do all of that. I'm starting to feel like that's what this season of this show is about. Okay. It's about her coming into her own as a woman. It just so happens that she had to become a Hulk in order for that to happen.
I don't refute that point, but still, the highlights are everybody else. That's the problem. Like I get character development. I get world building. Yeah.
If we didn't have even half of the cameos we already had, a lot of people would have already written this show off.
This show would be worse than what it already currently is presented. And you know it.
No comment. No, he's
so right. Out of 5, what we rating it?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Did I give last episode 2.5? If I gave the last episode 2.5, then I'm going to have to go the same.
2.
Man's is even lower.
So I have to bring you know what episode 6 gonna have to do for me to bring it up to a 3?
A real fight.
Man, what?
A real fight.
Daredevil got to get his ass beat, and then I'm like, all right, you know what? I was right. You know what I'm saying? Like I have the self gratification of being right. But I'm like, all right, Daredevil got his ass beat. All right, cool.
But you know what? Episode 6, we probably get Daredevil and the Wrecking Crew again. It's no way we only see them one time in this show. It's no way.
We need to know who the fucking bad person is in this show.
It's Titania.
Oh, okay.
At least from what I can tell, it's Titania. They gonna have to like throw hands like for real.
Yeah, She-Hulk. Again,
oh man, what?
The fade
2 times. But anyway, clearly we're at the end of this. Listen, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to our review. Let us know what you thought about episode 5 of the She-Hulk series. Let us know what you think is going to happen in the last 4 episodes. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this with your people, and we'll be back next week for episode 6. And we out. Peace.